Taz Effect hits you like a wave, a fresh new spin on the news you crave. Turn the page and you see the light, a different angle that feels so right. No more waiting for the truth to show. Every story starts to glow. Daily news in a way you didn't know. It's the Taz Effect that steals the show. Open your mind, let the colors flow. Daily news in a way you didn't know.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here on the Taz Effect Daily News in a way you did know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves, thank you for tuning in at gcpr.live. And for everyone else watching and listening from all around social media land, welcome, welcome, welcome. Did you miss me yesterday? I missed y'all. My apologies. Was traveling. Thought that was going to make it to my destination sooner than I did, and that didn't happen. And stopped to grab something to eat from a questionable place, so I'm still making my way back from that. So, hey, Nana J. Hey, Jay. Hey, Annabelle. I am here, and we're gonna do our best to get through this. Is this being brought to you from my TT's couch under a pink fluffy blanket? Yes. This is the best I got right now. So, let's get into it and make it do what it do. Oh, yeah. There we go. First up, take a listen.
The flood of Mexican meth, Mexican heroin, Mexican fentanyl. 20 years ago in Montana, meth was homemade. It was homegrown. And it had purity levels less than 30%. Today, the meth that is getting into Montana is Mexican cartel.
That's the hill we want to die on. That's the hill that we want to. That's the hill we want to die on. One, when has the United States truly been opposed to importing its illicit pharmaceuticals? If you know, you know. Two, we're saying Mexico doesn't make the meth the way that we make it. He was on his Breaking Bad knowledge. He really was. I promise you, multiple people sent me the story, the video clip. I had to verify it because as crazy as this administration is, there are still people out there making AI videos to try to make them look even crazier. Now it's real. So, hey, Dragon. So we're upset. This lets you know we're running out of immigrants to kick out of the country. Now we're focused on the purity levels, quote unquote, of illicit pharmaceuticals that are being forcibly imported in. Here's the thing. I'm a root cause type of person. I am a cause and effect type of person. If you eliminate, the root cause of why people are going to get the substances, why there is a demand for the substances, you might be able to squash the importation of the substances. Just a thought, just spitballing here. But I'm just a Black woman in America. What do I know? Let's go to the next one.
I listened for several hours of 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson. He maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message demanded not Democratic or Republican solutions, but demanded a consistent, prophetic voice that at no point in time ever sold us out as a people.
All that don't know, that was the voice of Jesse Jackson's son. There are a lot of people who don't know Jesse Jackson, and that's Jesse Jackson's own fault. Jesse Jackson, and I'm going to say this, you can get mad if you want to, I don't care, was not for Black people. Jesse Jackson was for Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson was for the prophet. Okay? So we're going to go a little bit further. Jesse Jackson's son swipes at Obama and Biden after politically charged eulogies. They do not know Jesse Jackson. If you are a political figure, especially someone as polarizing as Jesse Jackson, what did you think people were going to talk about at your funeral? Should we go back to the times that Jesse Jackson has spoken at other people's funeral? And let's not forget the pot shots that Jesse Jackson took in his life at former President Obama. I say be happy that he said anything positively, because my petty ass would have asked, could I see those journals to find out what hand Jesse Jackson had in the demise of Reverend King? Jesse Jackson Jr. took a not-so-subtle swipe at three former Democratic presidents who spoke at his father's memorial service, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden, saying they did not know the real Jesse Jackson. Do you know the real Jesse Jackson? Because let's not forget, on his corpse tour of Chicago and a few other places, a good maybe 10 people showed up each and every time. The house became packed at a 10,000 capacity church when the who's who pulled up. People were crossing off their bucket list for the sake of chronicling history and being in the same room as said presidents. And before you go, Taz, I'm shocked you didn't bring footage from there. I would have only gone to make sure that that was him in the box. And the way that they kept putting it all over the TV screens, I got a chance to verify that it was him in the box. I wasn't going. And I definitely wasn't sitting through 3 hours of bullshittery. Are you new here? You gotta be. Jackson Jr. continued, he maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message, the demands of speaking for the least of these. Those who are disinherited, the damned, the dispossessed, the disrespected, demanded not Democratic or Republican solutions, but demanded a consistent prophetic voice that at no point in time sold us out as people. Yo, daddy sold us out as people. He sold us to the highest bidder every chance he got. Because unfortunately, there are generations of people, when they think of the Rainbow Coalition, they do not think of the actual Rainbow Coalition. They don't think of Mr. Fred Hampton. They think of the piss poor human stain on society that was Jesse Jackson. That's what they think of. That's it. The sharp opening to his eulogy was made in front of a crowd at the Rainbow Push Coalition headquarters in Chicago. Jackson Jr., who served as a Democratic representative from Illinois between 1995 and 2012, made his remark a day after the ex-presidents honored his father. Obama's speech was the most political of the three former presidents, with Obama clearly dissing President Donald Trump at one point without mentioning him by name. Yeah, and if you say that your father stood for all of these people that are pushed to the dredges of society, that would be on par. That would be how you honor him. Because when my day comes, y'all better stick it to the man every which way you can and have a snack. Okay? Is you cool, ho? But once again, we got to make it. We got to make it about ourselves, and by ourselves, I'm talking about the Jackson family. It's like you did that whole speech about that, honey baby boo boo, honey baby boo boo. You should have talked to sister girl that kept exposing the fact that she ain't got no edges. Okay, she got a football field of just skin where her hair should be. That should have been your focus. Before you go, Taz, you shouldn't talk about people like that. They just lost a family member. You thought I was only going to have jokes when Trump finally kicks the bucket? No. A shit person is a shit person. If I live my life as a shit person, I don't expect anybody to cry for me. I expect all the jokes to come out every time something goes wrong in my life. Jackson was able to dick to the people, and he's in a box. Does that make him a dick in the box? Yes, he's a dick in the box that don't nobody want to touch. Like, yeah, absolutely the freak not. Like, no, I'm so tired of this. And before somebody comes around here going, you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead. Y'all do realize the whole ill of the dead means you're not supposed to lie about the dead people. When you sit there and make it seem like everything was roses with somebody's life, you're the one speaking ill on them because you're lying about their legacy. Just because somebody dies, it does not mean that you erase who they were and all of a sudden you got to reach back to the day that they were born and not able to say something nice about them. Absolutely the not. Oh, I have no my place, but over yonder eating popcorn, enjoying Taz's documentary. You know, yeah. Like, I can't stand that. People sit there and whenever, because I know some people love to wait until we're no longer live and jump into the comment section and say stuff. One, over on YouTube, I rarely go into the comment section because after I'm live, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't give a damn what you have to say. I don't. Catch me when you can. That's just the truth. But before somebody goes, but didn't you have a despicable uncle? What would you think if people said that about him? Baby, I said that about him. Once again, are you new here? When said uncle died, I knew what was coming. I knew the commentary that people were going to have. Hell, they had it while they were alive. We as family members had it while he was alive. Honey, we had his funeral at the cemetery. We wasn't wasting our good church clothes for that shit. I don't give a damn who you are. You live a despicable life, I will honor you how you lived. Okay, that's me. I am the queen of the platinum rule. I treat people how they tell me they want to be treated. And the best way for you to tell me how you want to be treated is how you live your life. Okay? Right? Like, Nightbird, I have to check. I'm very behind on getting caught up on all of my notifications and reading and going through things. I got through some things while traveling yesterday, and today, not gonna lie, this is the second time I've set up straight. So give me a little bit. Also, quick housekeeping note. Tomorrow we will restart the 1:00 Epstein Maxwell files updates. Once again, your girl's been out of it. And I was going to do it today. I went to my notes and I have categories for everything, like a whole file for Epstein. I do not know what was going through my head, but I made 3 different notes. So all of the stuff is spread out and I need to compile them back into one so it's clear and concise and we can get through it. I wish I could give you an explanation as to why I did that. I don't know why. Get that right, Nan and Jay. A lot of these people be in the devil's yard. Yeah, because everybody's like, well, insert loved one here is looking down at you from heaven. No, I'm pretty sure that heifer is in purgatory, or they're looking up. Or they may have been reincarnated into that poop somebody took this morning. I don't know. I would say I don't judge, but I do. Call me Judy. Or call me Judge Toller. Like, no.
We just learned that Donald Trump and the people around him have been shocked at how strongly Iran has responded in the war, despite Donald Trump saying that it's going perfectly. While discussing the tragic 7th American death in this war, the New York Times reported that for the United States, the grim toll in the first week of the war signaled that Iran was more prepared for war than the Trump administration anticipated, according to U.S. military officials. Iran has continued to put up a fight even after its supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, and other top officials were killed. In the past, Iran has given warning before launching retaliatory strikes and made known which bases housing U.S. troops it intended to hit, but since the start of the war, its strikes have been widespread and less predictable. We also know that this is the case because Donald Trump and the people around him have said that there will be more casualties. So it seems like the Trump administration went into this war completely unprepared, which makes me so furious for the brave men and women who are currently serving in the Middle East. Their lives are at risk, and also for their families who are waking up every single day anxious. They thought that they could just go in, take out the Ayatollah, and that would be it. And clearly it is not.
Okay. Excuse me. Whew. Also, side note, I can't find my allergy medicine right now. I know it's packed. Am I the best at unpacking things? No. Not at all. Few things. Yes, I've seen the chatter where people are saying there's always got to be a conspiracy theory. Y'all piss me off with making everything into a conspiracy theory. Stop. Where people are like, well, outlets outside the United States are saying there's like 400 or 500 U.S. soldiers that have been killed. We don't know. I have not said anything on it because you will not have accurate totals until this conflict is over with. Number one. Number two, a lot of media outlets have incentive to lie about this war. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. I don't care what country they're. Anytime that there's some type of conflict, that is the case. When things popped off this time around with Israel and Palestine, it happened. It's still happening to a certain extent now. Two, do not be disrespectful to the soldiers and the soldiers that have lost their life. They did not wage war. This isn't their doing. Let's be real, okay? That's like being pissed off at the cashier at the drive-thru because corporate made a rule about how many sauces you can get for your Wendy Tendies, okay? Please stop. Let your smarticle particles work. Also, Iran has not been thumbing their nose up at the United States for hundreds of years. The United States has been screwing with Iran consistently since 1954. 1954, trying to go over and bully them for the sake, you're welcome, dragons, for the sake of oil, for resources over there, okay? Now, the Ayatollah that was killed alongside his daughter-in-law, let's not forget that she died too, wasn't as radical as his son that has been named the new Ayatollah. If this current administration would not have quickly and eagerly dismissed, just broke my nail, the experts on Iran, there wouldn't be any shock, awe, or surprise as to what's currently going on. But, stupid is as stupid does. Because Trump, it's like the worst colander ever. He holds zero water. He has no poker face. He's easily readable. Yes, we're going to fix my nail as we talk about this. He's easily readable. Iran has been on board with knowing what he was going to do. And they are the grand poobahs of stay ready and you never have to get ready. And then when Trump was like, hey, is calling? How about no, we're not going to do that. When he's like, well, yeah, we could possibly put boots on the ground over there. And they're like, okay, bet. We've been ready. Good grief. I said, I don't know who's calling. They're like, yeah, come on over. We've been ready. We've been waiting on you. Bring that ass here, boy. And I don't know why y'all want to interview Iranian military leaders as if they're not going to tell you how a TI is while the camera is rolling. They want it chronicled because they don't want you to misquote them. They don't want you to misconstrue. They don't want you to get it wrong. Yeah, we coming for you. And Iran at this point, after Trump decided to puff his chest out and go, yeah, they're cowering to me. Look how big and great and wonderful I am. I'm the bestest leader ever. They're begging me to stop it. They're begging me. They're like, we didn't say that shit, mother. You're like, you know what? How about an eye for an eye? You took our leader. How about we come take you? And before you ask, yes, my tote bag has a tote bag. It's me. Of course it does. Donald J. Trump, the J stands for genius. Thank you, then, J. Yeah, I know Courtney. I know Courtney is definitely not shocked because when I got it, who do y'all think I call and show this stuff to? That's why Courtney is my sister from another mister. She partakes in my joy over the many things in life that bring me joy. Astounding joy. So yeah, I don't know if I told y'all this, but it bears repeating. The current Ayatollah, far more militant, hates the United States and everything the United States has tried to do to Iran and the Iranian people. I enjoy the joy in small things. And for those that are like, oh, we had to do it because they're chanting death to America. Let me explain something to you. If every single day I decided to come and try to kick in your door, and every time you left the house, I ran up and hit you, punched you, called you every name, walked around to your neighbors, talking cold cash money shit about you, wouldn't you have some choice words to say about me? Wouldn't you come up with some cute little chants too? And for y'all going, but the Iranian people, they're out there chanting, going, yeah, Trump. Yeah, no, they're not. The handful in comparison to the amount of Iranians that are in the world are people living in Iran. And before you go, well, they left Iran because of the Ayatollah. People leave countries for all sorts of reasons. And are there some people who left Iran because of the Ayatollah and the current, that climate under him at the time? Absolutely. But see, it's easy to cheer for things when you don't have to be there for the repercussions. No different than what we just watched with Venezuela. I'm going to need y'all to look at the open book in front of y'all and read these chapters, okay? I am tired of every other month them using the exact same verbiage, the exact same tactics, and people just going, yep, that makes sense. No, it didn't make sense the first time they did it. It's not making sense now. Okay. I posted a video on my TikTok page of a man in Iran. He just took his camera out, took his phone out, videoed people out in the street. They want Trump's head. They collectively want Trump's head. Okay? They are lip syncing Tupac to Trump. Hey, DJ. Especially since now, Trump himself is claiming that Iran bombed its own school. Like, this man does not know how or when to shut up. And the SecDef, or Whiskey Leaks himself, has spent millions of our good hard-earned taxpayer dollars on Apple products, steak and lobster. And also, Pete Hegseth announces Trump's new Greater North American Western Hemisphere map. It's the U.S. against the global South. I thought these weirdos in the GOP were, oh, that's Puppers Ninja, were wanting the South to rise again. See what I did there? Secretary of State, I'm not Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth said President Donald Trump Sr. had drawn a new strategic map. Who keeps giving him Sharpies? I feel like whoever's in charge of the Sharpie budget, put it at 0. And I find it very disturbing. Like, I have my favorite types of pens, okay? And a good friend of mine now has me using gel pens, where before I was very anti-gel pens. But it's weird to choose to only write in Sharpie. I have a theory as to why he writes in Sharpie. Because it can give those cardiac monitor readings that he says is his handwriting. You can't read it anyway, but it makes it look official if it's in Sharpie. During a speech at the America's Counter Cartel Conference hosted at the U.S. Southern Command in Florida on March 5th, 2026. In his speech, Hegseth called everything north of the equator the Western Hemisphere, Greater North America. Meanwhile, everything south of the equator was newly christened the Global South. I know virtually every family has a drunk uncle, and they tend to be embarrassing, but this is a whole new level. Can we get a oh, thank you. Can we get a different drunk uncle, please? This drunk uncle needs to be put down. Okay. Where is Christy known when you need it? Like, this is a job for Christy known. If you know, you know. Hegseth's exact I can talk. I can read. Y'all watch me do it every day. We're going to try this again. Hegseth's exact words were, Trump has drawn a new strategic map from Greenland to the Gulf of America, formerly the Gulf of Mexico, which Trump renamed early in his second term. We call this map the Greater North America, Hegseth said, adding, every sovereign nation north of the equator is not part of the global South. It is a part of the security perimeter in this great neighborhood that we all live in. Neighborhood? So this is their justification for going into international waters, kabooming people indiscriminately. I swear to God, I feel like we're living in Sid's room from Toy Story. We are. We're definitely living in Sid's room, and I don't like it here. It smells, and I don't think they paid electric bill around here. Hegseth's mention of a new map confused many, and understandably so, as Trump has suggested everything from annexing Greenland to making Canada the 51st state. This Trump's desire to just take a map and draw on it, and him thinking that that becomes official, is ridiculous. This is akin to a small child, a toddler, if you will, someone that has not yet completed first grade, okay? Playing, playing make-believe. I don't like it here, Grandpa. And as no shocker, President Trump is not invited to the Obama Presidential Center opening ceremony. What is that? Okay, I thought so. It's June 18th through June 21st. Okay. I thought that it was was a bit away. Okay. Update on Miss Nancy Guthrie. An ex FBI agent, all these ex FBI agents do a whole, they couldn't wait to talk. Okay. They took careers that they knew they couldn't talk about. They retire and now they just can't shut up. And then they let me know, like, too many of y'all were not good at your jobs, because they're now floating, this person is now floating a link to an Arizona teen case. I was with y'all with some of y'all assessments. The type of people who gonna snatch up a teen, generally speaking, ain't the same people that's taking somebody Nemo. Yes, they're really suing the sheriff. They doing everything but really looking for their mama. Arizona police are reviewing evidence of a damaged utility box found near Nancy Guthrie's home. There was presumably a body pulled out of a nearby river, and people have surmised on their own that that was the body of Nancy Guthrie, because searchers for Nancy Guthrie were allegedly the ones that found the body in the river. I have so many questions regarding that. So many questions. Marjorie Taylor Greene is duking it out with Caroline Leavitt. Marjorie Taylor Greene said, and I quote, "Not my son over my dead body," because Leavitt refuses to say, absolutely, the president is not going to reinstate conscription, aka the draft. They keep giving Trump the big preschoolers pencil. You know, fun fact, there is an amusement park in Kings, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati, Ohio, called Kings Island. Duh. And for a while, every year, my family on my mother's side, we would get together and we would all go. Every single year, we were allowed to pick out a souvenir. I would get the jumbo pencil, and I literally used it. So I needed a new one. I only stopped. I only stopped because I had a teacher that was not the nicest. Okay. I think he was just born an old person. I really do. He started to refuse any like classwork that I would do with the pencil. Like, he couldn't prove that I was using it for homework. But yeah. And I was like, it's a working pencil. Like, leave me alone. And yes, we had to like get a souvenir sharpener, because at the time you couldn't just go into the store and get a giant sharpener for it. So if you ever wonder, have I always been this way? I absolutely have. Hey, Lisette. Look, I do enjoy the whimsy. Okay, I dress up a skeleton. I was busy making snacks for Brianna and Kate. Like, oh, no worries, darling, no worries.
Do you know what happens when you put a 22-year-old former grocery bagger in charge of counterintelligence? Our government dragging their feet on telling us that there is an active terror threat here on American soil. You heard that correctly, and if it wasn't being reported by foreign media, we might not know. The White House has blocked the release of a joint intelligence bulletin showing a rise in elevated terror level right here in America. But instead of warning state and local authorities to be on the lookout for, if you see something, say something, instead, they're blocking this intelligence from state and local law enforcement instead of giving them the heads up like they should be. It's almost as if the government is planning a false flag terror attack here to continue along in their unpopular war. I don't know. That's just speculation. But we've all been here before, so we've seen this movie. It's almost as if they forget we were all fucking alive in the 2000s. Tale as old as time. And the worst part is, the guy in charge of it all is literally a sundowning, dementia-riddled, narcissistic terrorist that would burn America to the ground before ever admitting he was wrong.
And that's the sad part. Okay, two things. one, Nana, I realize why you got rid of that man. You got rid of your armor. And I did not wear a helmet. Chaos. I mean, well, I did, but for other reasons. I felt a lot more back then. Okay. I was still burdened with the cumbersome full brace. I am not helping my case. Anywho, yes, y'all remember the big controversy of the former bagger that got promoted right on up there because he had the look. Yes, when I told y'all, and a couple people angrily sent me a lot of DMs saying that I was just being mean. No, Trump admitted himself that a lot of his choices were because people had the look. And before you go, Taz, what's the look? You know the look. You know the look. He's trying to recreate Nazi Germany. Yes, the no call, no show leg has been a thing since Little Taz. Yes. Oh, real quick, I never told y'all that. My bad. Here's the thing. Okay, when when a child is born, when you're born, your feet go out straight, your legs go out straight. Mine, the left turn to the left, the right turn to the right. So they had to break them and reset them a couple times. And now the older I get, the more the right leg wants to go back to the right. And because we've done this so many times and the wrong hardware was originally put in there and it's pretty much fused in with the bone, sometimes it just wants to stay straight. Sometimes it just wants to be a noodle and do noodle things. So yeah. So there you have it. But we're doing good. We're at about 3.5 years, no brace, and about 2.5 years, no chair. Well, no chair consistently. So now the not falling part, we've done good for a week. Sometimes it feels like a nut, sometimes it don't. Yeah. So Slewfoot is fighting the pregnant lady. Yes. That's the one carrying the crypt keeper's truck. Yes. And I thought it was illegal to carry your dead man's baby. But no floppy legs. We actually have there, and you know that. Okay. There was that one time at band camp when my leg was just like, I don't know what y'all want to do. I'm clocking out for the day. Here's my time card. I love every bit of it. Kid. Thank you, Neighbor. There's other people in the room, honey. We forgetting that. Okay, again. Where's this? Okay, yep. Got one more.
Anthony Blinken, Joe Biden's Secretary of State, just admitted that Donald Trump fell for the same trick that Israel tried to trick Biden into doing, but Biden rejected.
October 7th attack on Israel, the horrific attack on Israel by Hamas. The Israelis were insisting that in the north, Hezbollah from Lebanon was about to attack. And they wanted to strike preemptively against Hezbollah. And President Biden said, look, we're with you. We'll always be with you in defending Israel. And if you're attacked, we're there. But we're not there if you're going to start something. And we came within about 30 minutes of having a war in the north based on bad information that the Israelis had about an imminent attack from Hezbollah. We were able to avert that. But the Biden was very insistent. We're not going to do something that you initiate, that you start. It's very different than defending Israel when it's been attacked.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, this fuels more speculation, more questions, right?
Not speculation or questions. I've said this before. But first of all, Lincoln rhymes with Lincoln. Silly. Is she prepared to receive the single mother smoke? Oh, Caroline leaving. She'll find her a new old man to hunch on. But I've said this from the beginning. This is why history is key. Okay. And I'm not just saying that because of my love of history, but it is key. Can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. All right. BB from Philly has tried president after president after president to get the United States to do his dirty work. Israel does not have a large enough military to do what BB wants it to do. And because the United States has long been considered a superpower, that's what he needed to align with. And because the United States has brainwashed so much of its citizenship into feeling protective of Israel like its disabled little sibling, it's the most obvious choice, because you could make the argument like, oh well, they could convince England, or nobody else has such big missions to Israel. Nobody else patrols its citizenships to make it seem like every critique of Judaism and Israel is anti-Semitic. You know, Black people are told to forget everything. Okay, act like everything was so far back and pretend as if there aren't people who are racially Black and ethnically Jewish, or racially Black and religiously Jewish. But Jewish people, especially if they feel embarrassed, and I'm talking about the Zionist Jewish people, embarrassed in public by what you said, or they've done something bad and you call them out about, oh, it's anti-Semitic. But what about Israel? What about it? Biden is a Z, but he is not that dumb. Exactly. And Trump wants, so I don't think y'all realize how badly Trump wants that respect and the clout and notoriety that he has desired since he was a child raised by television. Because once again, y'all keep talking about screen kids as if plopping kids in front of screens just started happening when we started getting tablets. Why do you think that there were whole channels dedicated for children's programming? Folks cashed in on the fact that parents popped out kids and then popped them kids in front of television sets. Did y'all forget about portable DVD players? Because a lot of y'all complaining, somebody, I would never do that with my kid. I'm like my parents. I'm hands-on. Y'all parents wasn't hands-on. And the parents that were hands-on, they was putting their hands on you in ways that they shouldn't have. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at them. Go dig them up or go see them at the nursing home and tell them about themselves. I don't know what to tell you. PBS lived in my home. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on. So Trump was very much so shaped by the mafioso image on TV. And he really got cemented in 80s television. And it shows. Yeah, he did. He skipped all the after schools, after these messages. We'll be right back. Yeah, he did not partake in the Schoolhouse Rock. He most definitely didn't. But he has a bucket list for this current administration of his. He wants to erase Obama, and he wants to invoke his own manifest destiny. And he strongly, and it shows when you pay attention, he wants to leave the impression for future generations that he literally made this country great because you have to remember, and I don't like complimenting Trump because generally everything about his existence irritates the center of my soul. But he is good at branding. We have to admit that. He is good at branding. And if he would have chosen that as a career field, we wouldn't be dealing with this. So he is trying to rebrand the United States as the Trump States of America. This is why he wants to slap his name over everything. This is why he wants to reverse things that have been working, things that previous presidents, mostly Obama, were praised for, things that did help the people. He wants to roll them back and represent them under his name to show that, oh, on this date, it was signed by Trump. This is why he names things the way that he does. Like, think of another president and how we would have laughed him out of the Oval by naming something the Big Beautiful Bill. And yes, we give shortened names to a lot of legislation. We do, for the sake of time comprehension and things like that. But he wants to be liked. He never got into New York high society. Never. He's not respected and welcomed with open arms by by actual wealthy people. And it shows. He is poorly cosplaying wealth. He is what certain guys from certain fandoms think women do that are actually a part of those fandoms. You know, the guy that's like, oh, I see the t-shirts you have on. Name 5, blah, 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 or you're not really a fan. That's what Trump is cosplaying. For somebody who claims to have come from wealth, maintained wealth, and grown wealth over the years, why is nothing tailored? There's a man right now in a trailer park in the hood that has tailored suits. You can go to Men's Warehouse. Actually, you can go to somebody's auntie house right now. And for 2 smooth drives to the grocery store on 2 Sundays after church, or you taking her friend Loretta's daughter on a date to boost her confidence, will get you your suit tailored. Hey, Sabrina. This is a man that never talks about caviar or going to the finest dining establishments. He eats overly well done steaks with ketchup. His favorite meals come from McDonald's. And I'm not saying that wealthy people can't have guilty pleasures like the rest of us. But if you have access to the best of the best, is your favorite go-to food really going to be chicken nuggets from the Golden Arches? Look at how his grandchildren dress. His granddaughter, Kai, just bragged over on Twitter. Yes, I know what its adoptive stepdaddy named it. I call it what his bio daddy named it, okay? Bragged on Twitter that she took her Secret Service agents to Erewhon. If it is regular to you, you're not bragging about it. That would be like one of us making a post. I'm in Kroger. Check my new food at Kroger. Like, the writing is on the wall. Then invite people to eat right and serve McDonald's. And before somebody goes, but Taz, you talked about Rihanna eating McDonald's chicken nuggets. Rihanna also has small children. And Rihanna has always walked around with she gonna be regular her whole life, okay? She has nice things that she likes, but Rihanna is a billionaire that don't realize that she's a billionaire, okay? And she was also eating chicken nuggets with caviar. That was her soccer mom snack. Pump your brakes. The Trump family is still being impressed. Him liking the fish sandwich from there tells me all I need to know. Exactly. Yeah, hot and fresh too. But the Trump family shows you every day that they are, think of back in the day, and I don't know why they did this. I'm glad they stopped doing it. But every so often they would run a special, where are they now, with former lottery winners. And a lot of them would talk about their excitement, their glee of getting into certain realms that they never got into before. And you know how they made bad investments. They spent too much money because of that excitement. When something is new to you, yeah, you want to post it everywhere. I when you do it regularly, you don't think about it. And it reminds me, once there was a young lady that thought she was having a gotcha moment with me. We had bonded over an annual event that both of us had gone to. I never knew that she went there. She didn't. I had just referenced it one day. Y'all know how I do. I'll be explaining something to somebody, and then I'm like, oh, reference this. And when we had a falling out, she's like, well, you're not a part of any Facebook groups around, and you didn't post any pictures about it. So I don't think you actually did it. I think you just said it to bond with me. Oh, are you cool? Didn't know you were there. But here's the thing. Festivals of that caliber, I've done so for such a large chunk of my life. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about posting it. I was just there enjoying it. Now I'm pretty no, because the first time when I first started going, we didn't have social media. But if we would have had social media those first couple of times, I probably would have flooded everybody's timelines with pictures and all sorts of posts about it, because it was new, it was exciting. Like some of my favorite restaurants. Maybe the first time or two I went, you might get a picture or a video from me about it. If it becomes a staple in my life, and people aren't realizing that we have a president that's a cosplayer, and he's that's not what we need. Now, don't get me wrong. I am very appreciative of regular, degular, schmegular people becoming politicians. Like, I enjoyed watching the early days of AOC in politics and her coming online and being transparent and being excited about being able to experience different things for the first time, things that she never in her life thought that she was going to experience. I love that. I love that the common person who knows, about clipping coupons, physical and digital, and getting to, oh, like this is real, oh, this is nice, and da 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 da. Yeah, and I'm exactly like that, Nana J. I love the experience. And people have hung out with me. I feel so bad. Because I thought about the last time I hung out with SC, we got all the way back home, and I was like, shoot, I didn't get any videos, no pic, like, duck. Like, I gotta remember the next time. I gotta remember. And I always have ideas like, oh, we're gonna get together, we should do this, and this will be cute, and then we get caught up in the moment. But yeah, that's why I laugh when people are like, but Trump is such a great businessman. I need y'all to remember that for the vast majority of his business career, Trump was the butt of jokes. Hey, Sigrid. And then he won a presidency after failing previously, because the first time he won a presidential election, that was not his first run. That was not his first time dipping his toe into politics. Trump is a master of rewriting his story, and people just run with it and go with it. Because if I hear one more person tell the story of the $1 million loan, I'm going to throat punch you and then kick you in the cootie biscuit. I'm sorry, what? Hold on a second, y'all. Okay. Sorry, I don't have like all of my normal equipment. Well, get up today. We're a little rich today. Okay. Let me add that to tomorrow's update. Sorry about that. Someone just sent me an Epstein update. Yeah, I think like you stop giving Trump so much credit. Stop, Jesus Christ, stop giving Trump so much credit. And this administration is burning through budgets and doing the things that they're doing because this is their one and only opportunity to check things off of their bucket list. I want you to think back to when you were a teenager. And I'm talking like when you first crossed the bridge into adolescence, like 13, 14 years old. And everything you thought being a teenager was going to be about, and how you viewed what adults were able to do and what the wealthy were doing. Now imagine somebody not necessarily giving you the money, but giving you access where you could live out and do all the things that you thought wealth and adulthood consisted of. This is why we have a Secretary of Defense buying lobster and steak and Apple products like a tween left alone with mommy and daddy's credit cards. This is why we have an FBI director buying fancy schmancy luxury cars to replace a fleet of FBI vehicles. You know, the FBI that's supposed to be covert, inconspicuous. This is why we have a now dethroned, quote unquote, DHS secretary who was buying luxury jets. This is why you have cabinet members utilizing resources that we pay for as if they're their personal property, or as if they have a company car, and as if they work for GE or something. Yes, he would definitely be new money. She didn't invite nobody over. Nope. Like, I don't think people are taking in the realization that we have an administration full of wayward teenagers. And this is why they're populating their staff with teenagers. These are people who are mentally and socially stunted. And also people that think hanging out with the young kids makes them cool and active and people will like me and I'll be in the know. No, you won't. I witnessed it over the weekend. I witnessed somebody. Full disclosure, I'm very creeped out about people who bypass folks in their age range to go to the virtually youngest adults in the room. That creeps me out. I'm not saying everybody has nefarious intent as far as like crossing physical boundaries, but it makes my spine tingle. AKA, it's not a good feeling. And I watched somebody sit there talking to a freshly 21-year-old, kikiing, just being loud and unnecessary. And I'm like, there's a whole room full of women that are middle-aged just like you. Why you want to talk to her about her dating life? I avoid the youngest. Let me tell you, if we ain't related, baby, listen. And even then, I look at them sometimes and please don't talk to me. Now, there's one youngin' I don't avoid quite well enough, my nephew. But we're working on it. An update, no, he's still blocked. I don't care how many times y'all, no, stop having a bleeding heart for him. I'm not unblocking him. No. No. If somebody snitched and told him I was in town, Lord Jesus, pray for me. Tell me we should go get chicken tenders. We should not. Nana J, he told me I could easily walk under a stool. I'm done. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about with teenagers either. Except for don't touch my stuff. No, I'm not sharing with you. And please move away from me because I still think that y'all hygiene is questionable. I think y'all still trying to figure out where all your crevices are and how to properly clean them. Your little walking petri dish, please sit over there. Over there. But it's no secret that I didn't like teenagers when I was a teenager. And my friends be getting offended nowadays. Like my friends from high school. Why? I told y'all in high school, we probably not gonna get along. Holler at me after we graduate. One person had the nerve to ask me, "What? We're broke. What we gonna do together?" Okay, I don't want to window shop at the mall. I want to leave with something. Tell me why you hang out with your grandparents. I take trips with them. What am I do with you? Sit on a stoop? How about no? I traveled the world with my grandparents. Okay, we went to good steakhouses. Okay, with the real silverware and cloth napkins. Okay, where essentially you get your own butler while you're there. You want me to go with you to Wendy's and get a biggie size? How about no? Like people creep me out calling their kids a little broke best friend. Get a real friend. No. I mean, I'm a broke adult, but hey. Like, no. I'm a people person that does not like people. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel that. I feel that completely. Sorry, I got one charger to maneuver through everything. First half of the said that to me, I looked at her like she grew 3 heads. What you ain't got no car, I ain't got no car, we ain't got no license, we ain't got no money. What are we doing? First time somebody said, "Hey, you want to go to the mall?" I'm thinking we're going to shop. They just want to keep walking around and walking around and walking, going in, trying stuff on and leaving without. First of all, I'm not a big browser. Okay. Usually when I go in the store, I know what I want. I'm getting it. I'm leaving. I'm not the browser. Okay. I'm not getting lost in the stores. I'm not putting in. They're like, yeah, I should come back with my mom and get the. Take me home. Don't ever invite me out again. They're going to get mad at me because I went and sat in the food court. You brought me out the house. You didn't pack no snacks. You didn't bring a juice box, nothing. And I'm just going to keep walking in a circle like this is NASCAR Footloose edition? No. No. Same heifer invited me out to sit in the park once. What is with this cosplaying homelessness? No, it's dirty out there. Come on, well, the guys are playing basketball. Girl, every Saturday, if I want to watch somebody play basketball, I would tag along with my dad and my brothers and their friends. No, did that before. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Now, as a young child, I didn't have a choice because my mom would work on Saturdays and we had to go with my dad because he was in charge of us. But what did he bring? Big blue cooler full of snacks, bunch of juice boxes. He knew my language. No. Why y'all want to sit outside in the dirt and in the heat? And the Lord invented central heating and cooling for a reason. Temperature control. He gave us an ice box for a reason. Paying all this good money for a domicile and you want me to go sit outside like I'm the resident hobo from Andy Griffith. I don't think so. No. Mm-mm. 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 Now y'all want to put whole ass kitchens outside. Talk about my outdoor kitchen. Renting Airbnbs where there's nothing but air in a bed. Is you cool, bitch? Yeah, I don't like smelling like outside either. Mm-mm. Oh, and twice in my life, somebody said, "What does smell like outside smell like?" First of all, I think we know the number one rule. Don't ask me certain questions because I'm going to answer. And sometimes I answer, then the tism taps me on the shoulder like, I don't think that was supposed to come out your mouth. Because I told the heifers both times, you. That's what outside smells like. You. Now back up. Let's not forget, I'm the same person that sprayed somebody with Lysol. Do not play with me. And given that most of the year, my nose is stuffed up and I can't smell nothing anyway, on the 4 or 5 good business days that I can smell, and you want to assault my nostrils, we at war. You going on my historic beef list. Okay, this ain't gonna be a regular beef where I probably take a nap or have a snack and forget that we supposed to be beefing, which happens a lot. It really does. Okay, but I got a good friend Mona who reminds me of who I'm supposed to be currently beefing with. Love her. Everybody needs a Mona in their life. You can't have mine though. Get your own. No. And if you've taken a class from me, you know I have a historic beef list. It's pretty much a book at this point. But you're going on that. I will not forget that. We forever beefing. Call me Cardi B. Because how long we beefing? Forever. Bodak yellow beef. That's all I'm going to say. No. If you come in here, Mike Tyson knocking out my nostrils, absolutely no. No. I tend to keep to myself anyway. No. If you walk into a room and you see me and I'm off in the corner, do not collect anybody in that room and bring them over to me, because I'm sitting over the corner, especially if I'm by a window, because one of them or all of them smell like the outside. Do not bring them outside smelling people over there by me, because now I feel like you want to break up as friends. I will start singing End of the Road. But that is our show for today. As always, thank you for listening in over the radio airwaves at GCPR.live, and for watching and viewing from all over social media land. And remember, if you're a small business owner or you just would like to see your place of business advertised here at GCPR Radio, make sure you go over to GCPR Live and click the lovely icon that says advertise with us, and we will get it for you. When? Tonight. Now probably later on this evening I will go live, because as always I owe y'all some travel tea, and I got some, because did I get temporarily adopted again? Yes. Was it by someone in the Asian community or another white lady? Yes. Did I almost get left behind at a truck stop? Yes. Was it by my uncle? Yes. I'll explain. And I had to charge my Kindle. But also, beginning tomorrow, we'll start the second book regarding Jeffrey Epstein. I got to charge it, connect it to this Wi-Fi, and let the rest of the book download. I guess it's a pretty hot book, because I couldn't get it in print, but I could get it on the Kindle. And the Wi-Fi hub that he had in the car, with I think it was 6 of us ended up being in the car. With all of us, just would not complete download. So why did he almost leave me? Oh, because just tune in. You'll see. Because just keep in mind, I am like among the shortest, the handful of short people in my family. And they just be forgetting about your girl. So, as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Go out, be good, prosper. Or not. I don't know. Heard there's some new menu items at Applebee's. Go check that out. I think they have like a 2 for $25 deal going on. Take a date or order 2 of everything and take the other ones home with you. I don't know. But in the immortal advice of my mother, eat dessert first.